So, hello and welcome to Breathing Space for today, Sunday, the 12th of April. And we've been going through a series of practices exploring different attitudes of mindfulness. And really, they're all always there. It's not like we live our life with just one attitude in mind, but it's nice as we practice on a Sunday to just explore each of the attitudes and um, maybe just dig a little deeper into what it might mean for us. And then as we're going through normal day-to-day life, we have all of those attitudes of mindfulness in our pocket. And whatever's happening in life, we can see which one or how many, which combination of attitudes might might allow us to relate to things in life at that particular moment. So today, curiosity, which I guess is like at the very foundation of mindfulness, but in particular, um, intentional curiosity. So to give an example of the difference, what intentional curiosity means, I was talking earlier about like sitting watching television and your mind begins to wander, and before you know it, you're scrolling on your phone, Googling 100 different questions, like what age was that actor when they made the film, or um, you know, where was the film located, or before you know it, you've missed half the film because you're distracted and you're following all those distracted thoughts. That's not what we're talking about here. A mindful curiosity is more intentional. So during practice, to be aware of what is going on, and then to just sit with it, not do anything, not go reaching for the phone and go, I'm breathing fast. Let's Google what's normal. What's a normal rate of breathing for somebody? Rather than that sort of distracted curiosity, just go, okay, how does this breathing feel? And that sort of curiosity brings you closer to your experience. It brings you more into an awareness on and a connection with yourself. If you notice your mind wandering, rather than reaching for the phone and going, okay, I'll Google that question, um, you can just be curious and go, gosh, if I sit and watch my thoughts right now, where are my thoughts going? Where's my mind trying to pull me? And isn't it curious how busy a mind can be? But I'll just observe it and watch it and sit with it. So it's a very calm and intentional and mindful sort of curiosity that we're going to cultivate in today's practice. And at the end, I'll end the video, but those of us who are in the Zoom will have a chance to talk a little bit about what curiosity means for us today, or how it's uh, how it's woven itself through our practice. And at the end, if you're watching this on video again, because I always put the videos up on YouTube and you can watch them again later, or if you've stumbled across this video on YouTube, at the end of the practice, you can always just do a little bit of reflection, maybe in a journal, and then take curiosity with you for the rest of your week and see how that adds to life. So for meditation, we usually begin just with a posture, either sitting or lying. Either will do. So our first curiosity is to kind of ask ourselves that question. But you won't find the answer in Google, like Googling what's the best posture for meditation. That's taking us out of our experience. Instead, ask the question inward. Right now, right now, in this place, in this time, what feels right for you? So just check in with your body, with your mind and your energy. And if you choose to sit, finding a chair where you can put your feet on the floor or on a yoga block to give your posture stability. Doesn't matter if you're on on the back of the chair or sitting forward. What matters most is that your posture feels dignified, but also relaxed, and there's a stability and effortlessness to the way that you sit. And if you're lying down, traditionally we lie on our back. Make sure there's maybe something under your neck or maybe even under your knees just to support your back properly. But there's no law saying that you have to lie on your back. Curiosity gives us the freedom to explore, to try new things and see what it's like. So you could try lying on your side, or even, I suppose, lying on your front. Just lie different ways and explore how that feels, as long as you feel supported and stable. Whether sitting or lying, this sense of effortless presence. So the first part of our practice might just be that curious exploring, shifting the weight, finding the posture that feels right for you today. As we find that posture, settling into meditation, inviting awareness of all the places the body is supported by the chair or the mat or the bed. Inviting our curiosity to that awareness of a surface that supports you and holds you. That you're just sitting here or lying here, effortless, supported, and stable. Perhaps feeling your feet on the floor, your legs, your back, maybe your arms. If you're lying, maybe your neck or your head. All the different points of contact. And this allows us to make that transition into practice where we are intentionally paying attention to our lived experience moment by moment. We don't really have anything to do. There's no goal here. In fact, we just sit in this endless flow of curiosity, but mindful, aware of where our attention is, and aware of how this connects us to the physical sensations or the emotions or the mental processes of right now. We could begin by inviting our curiosity towards the breathing, not to change the way we breathe, not to achieve any state of being, just to notice the movement of breathing as we feel it in the body right now. And for this part of the meditation, we can also practice this thing we call intentional curiosity. So there's a certain focus and discipline that we turn towards the movement of breathing, maybe felt in the belly, the chest, maybe in the arms or the back, the mouth, the nose. And every time the mind wanders, which it will, we notice that wandering. We deliberately let it go, and we deliberately return our curiosity into feeling the movement of an in-breath in all these different places in the body, and then the movement of an out-breath in all the places we feel that. And we try as best we can to keep our curiosity focused on exploring all those sensations of in-breath and out-breath. To be playful with our curiosity, we might say, oh, right, for the next little while, I'm only going to focus on the in-breath and then let go and relax on the out-breath. And then notice the next in-breath. See if I can find all the places in the body where that in-breath is felt. Could narrow down even more to notice the beginning of an in-breath, where that breath begins, and then the sensations of that expansion, and then how the body knows that the in-breath is complete. And find all the places that we can feel the beginning and the middle and the end of that in-breath. Although we're focusing our curiosity on this, noticing that we're not actually controlling the breathing. The body does all the breathing all by itself, and we're just an observer. And once we've played with the in-breath for a while, we could switch our curiosity now to the out-breath, just noticing each out-breath. And when we get to the bottom of that breath, just letting go, allowing the body to inhale, reconnect our curiosity on each out-breath. Every day, our body is adapting constantly to emotion or physical needs, temperature, energy. So our breathing's always different. And our curiosity can meet that breath in the present moment. Each breath is like a new beginning, a unique and momentary experience. So we can renew our curiosity every time we take an in breath and out breath. So let's see now if we can follow the in breath, the out breath. Remembering to keep it playful. This is not efforting, just a playful and light-hearted focus of curiosity. Perhaps experimenting if we can notice that little pause that happens when the in-breath is complete. There's a little pause before the out-breath begins. And when the out-breath is complete, a little pause before the in-breath begins. Perhaps playing with noticing that pause and what that feels like. And not holding the breath. There's just this natural microscopic little pause. We just rest our curiosity there, even for a fraction of a second, explore what that pause feels like. If you're wanting a short practice, just resting like this on the breath for a few minutes works very well. It's just a little literal breathing space in the middle of your day to go further, we could say, well, what else can we feel in the body apart from the breathing? Invite our intentional curiosity to explore the rest of the body. Just say, what other physical sensations might I explore right now? Could notice sensations on the skin. Very obviously, we're sitting or lying, so there might be that feeling of contact, pressure, weight between body and surface. Curiosity might tell us that the surface is hard or soft, warm or cold. The skin has awareness of temperature, inviting our intentional curiosity to explore maybe many different temperatures where the skin is open to air, where the skin is in clothing, places where the arms are against the body or the legs are close together. There might be many different temperatures to explore. And all the time we're doing this practice, of course, our mind will wander. It'll drift into sleep or restlessness or distraction. And our practice today gives us the opportunity to cultivate intentional curiosity as a skill that can be trained and improved with kindness. So we notice the mind wanders, it's normal. All minds wander. But having awareness of that wandering mind, we can choose to return our curiosity to the sensations in the body. Noticing that temperature often changes. The body heats up, it cools down. The air currents of the room around us are changing all the time. resting curiosity on the temperature of the surface of the skin gives us this endless flow of experience to follow moment by moment. Going a little bit deeper, we might connect with the muscles of the body. And here, maybe being curious about places where the muscles feel tense or places where they feel relaxed, and being curious to notice the difference between the two, to explore where and how that tension is felt, to explore where and how relaxation is felt. Often our muscles carry the energy of the doing world, the world that pushes us all the time to be busy, busy, busy. And then that energy is held in the muscles as a bracing, a holding, a tension. It's the the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system that gets the message that we have to be ready for action. And so there's always that energy. The muscles are not fully relaxed. Possibly a good thing because it allows us to get through our day. So we're not saying this the tension is a bad thing, just noticing if that energy is anywhere in your body. Curiosity is not a judge, right? We're not judging is this good or bad. Though we might notice if it feels pleasant or unpleasant. We just be curious, okay, this is how it feels. Let's just notice more where and how this feels. If we notice any parts of the body that are particularly tense, we're not trying to fix that, but we can invite a softness around those places and then just be curious. about what happens next as those places know that they've been heard and that they're being offered softness and kindness. We can breathe that in, breathing in to acknowledge what we find, and a breathing out to offer that softening. Again, we're being curious. It's not like we're trying to shift anything or change anything. We might offer softness and nothing changes. Or we offer softness and we notice on an in-breath a certain change in the sensation, and on an out-breath a change in sensation. But it might not be like suddenly we become relaxed. It might just be a different discomfort or a different sensation around the tension. So curiosity is quite neutral. We're not trying to shift or change or fix. We're just playing with offering a softness and then noticing what happens. This allows us to just be with our experience and remember that right now we have nothing to do. There's no effort required, no action required. We're just noticing our physical sensations. We could go deeper into the body, to the bones. See if there's anywhere in the body we can notice the presence of those bones. Knowing that if we didn't have those bones, we'd just be kind of like a bag of jelly, really. So even just by feeling the posture of the body through the spine or the legs and the bones and the legs, if there's places where the knees are bent or the elbows are bent, there's plenty places we can feel the bones, the joints, and their presence at the center of our body. The ribs with the movement of breathing, or the jaw, the teeth, the fingers, the toes. Being curious if we can notice big bones and tiny little bones, strong bones and delicate bones. And at the heart of everything, literally, the heartbeats, back to the breathing, maybe sensations in the belly, digestion or circulation, inviting curiosity to any sensations that connect us to those inner organs within the torso. And we connect to those sensations in the body through the time we've been doing this. It's quite normal that we've noticed our attention wandering, being distracted. Now we could maybe play a game and see if we can be curious about the flow of thought or curious about the flow of emotion. Perhaps staying grounded if we can in the breathing and the body. Just allow our curiosity to expand now to those distractions that we've been letting go of. But rather than getting hooked up in them, observing them like clouds in the sky, or observing them like water flowing down a river, the flow of thought, the flow of emotion. And with curiosity, we can just go, ooh, what type of a thought is that? Or curiosity to what's the energy of my thoughts today? Are they nourishing, depleting? Do they have an emotional tone, worry or judgment? But we rest outside of those thoughts as if just observing. And this curiosity gives us a little bit of space to observe with wisdom and from a place of stillness and calm. This wise and mindful space at the center of our practice allows us to be with emotion or thought or sensation, to notice judgment, emotion, reaction, curiosity. Ooh, that's interesting. There's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. There's no should have or could have or this way or that way. It's just what is and being curious. What's it like? Where's it felt? How does it arise? How does it fade? Where does it go? So our curiosity today is a practice in the sort of curiosity that allows us to explore the details of our lived experience. It's not the kind of distracted, restless, stressy, driven curiosity that leads us to Google 1,000 things on the phone all day, but rather a very calm and grounded, centered curiosity, an intentional, just connecting to the sensations, the emotions, the thoughts, playful and light-hearted, with awareness and kindness. There's no action required. There's no thing that we have to fix or change. There's no right, there's no wrong. So this cultivation of mindful, intentional curiosity is a practice that will, in time, cultivate a greater sense of equanimity, being able to just sit with experience and even turn towards, notice the details, allow things to flow. With compassion to hold difficult experience as well as pleasant, to offer softness and see what happens. And to know that just like the temperature on the skin that's constantly changing, all experience is transient. Things arise, things fade, things change. Whatever we're experiencing right now is temporary. Things will change, and curiosity allows us just to be present with that. The equanimity comes from noticing that overall things tend to balance out. There's always pleasant, there's always unpleasant, there's always distraction, there's always focus. With a bit of perspective, the bigger picture, and this capacity to connect, to observe, to be with, we can relate to life from our inner wisdom. And that brings the equanimity that allows us to enter a certain sense of well-being. So for today's practice, see if we can just begin maybe by wiggling our toes and our fingers, allowing that movement to move to arms, legs, a stretch, a yawn, maybe a deeper breath, opening eyes, taking in the world around you. And if you're lying or even if you're sitting, just making those movements very slow, mindful, and careful as you begin to shift your posture from lying to sitting, or from the meditation sitting to waking up all those muscles that might have become a little bit tense from the way that you're sitting in your chair, the way that you're lying down. I'm going to end the recording there. It'll be on YouTube if you want to come back to this practice. And it gives us a little bit of time to maybe just share our thoughts or our experience on curiosity.